You ever watch someone's greed burn so hot it torches their whole world? I have. And let me tell you, nothing smells quite like melted plastic and regret at 3 in the morning, unless it's the scent of a $60,000 Lexus going up in flames because some HOA queen thought rules were for suckers. That's not an exaggeration, either. That's just the end of my story. Let me back up a sec. My name's Marcus Rivera. Used to be just another face in a Phoenix suburb, busting my back as an electrician, scraping pennies after a messy divorce, trying to do right by my 2 kids. I saved every spare dollar for 2 years, ramen for dinner, instant coffee that tasted like battery acid, driving a beat-up sedan that coughed more than it ran. My North Star? A used Tesla. That was freedom. That was a clean start. So when I finally found a 2019 Model 3, I felt like I'd hit the lottery, you know? Did everything by the book. Permits, city inspections, all the stuff most folks skip. And after years on the job, I knew how to install a charger safer than the White House fence. That's when Bethany Klein slithered into my life. Picture this. HOA president with the smile of a lone shark, heels so sharp they could cut glass, fresh off her own divorce with a corner mansion and a Lexus hybrid she probably leased for Instagram likes. First day my charger's done, she shows up like she's closing a real estate deal, all fake charm and community spirit. You know the type. Marcus, wouldn't it be wonderful if we shared resources for the environment? Yeah, that happened. I explained the basics, load limits, safety, insurance. She didn't care. She wanted free juice for her Lexus, and when I said no, her whole vibe changed, like a snake that just missed a mouse. Next day, I get a threatening letter. Suddenly, my charger violates community standards, and I'm on the hook for $200 in fees plus daily fines. I checked with the HOA manager. They knew nothing. The city? My permits were golden. Called my attorney buddy Derek. He just laughed, said, "She's desperate for control." He was right, but not in the way I expected. Bethany was drowning in debt, divorce, kids' college, real estate commission shrinking by the week. She needed a win. Harassing me became her way of feeling big again. What she didn't know was I'd dealt with bullies since the first grade. And if you come for my property, you'd better know the law. I pulled up Arizona Statute 33 to 1816 that night. Turns out, state law says HOAs can't mess with your EV charger, period. Even our HOA rules encourage renewable energy. But Bethany kept pushing, sending more threats, CCing the whole neighborhood on her hate mail like she was announcing a block party. The next HOA meeting, I came armed with permits, printouts, and a copy of the law. 15 neighbors watched as I read it aloud. Bethany's face went from fake smile to a shade of red I'd only seen in electrical fires. She screamed about intimidation and stormed out, heels pounding the tile like gunshots. You'd think she'd back off, right? Nope. Next morning, code enforcement shows up. Anonymous. Tip: hazardous electrical work. The inspector barely looked at my setup before apologizing for wasting my time. He gave me his card and said, "Document everything. This isn't my first rodeo with vengeful neighbors." Turns out, Bethany's harassment was escalating. She started peering through windows, snapping photos with a telephoto lens, grilling neighbors about strange electrical smells. She even called the utility company, trying to get them to cut my power. The utility guy told her, "Lady, this is safer than your toaster," then winked at me and left. I started documenting everything: photos, emails, phone calls. Set up cameras, just in case. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Harold Peterson, the old guy who always waved when I drove by, shows up with a manila envelope. His wife, June, works at the HOA management company. She found proof that Bethany had been funneling thousands of our dues to pay her own divorce lawyers, all without board approval. We're talking tens of thousands in a legal consultation to her attorney, Morrison and Associates. Plus, a $47,000 surplus just sitting in the HOA account, while she told us fees needed to go up. That's enough to pay for chargers for half the block. And get this, our original HOA covenants don't just allow renewable energy, they encourage it. Solar, EV chargers, the whole 9 yards. She'd been breaking the rules and the law the whole time. That's when we realized this wasn't just about me or my charger. It was about a con artist using the HOA as her personal piggy bank. throwing her weight around to cover her own disaster. So we formed a coalition, Harold for president, June digging up financial records, Derek laying out legal strategies. We canvassed the neighborhood. Within days, half the street was ready to vote her out. Some of them had their own stories. Kids chalked drawings called vandalism, retirees hassled for mailbox colors, made up noise complaints against anyone Bethany didn't like. The more desperate she got, the more reckless she became. I'd come home to find my charger cable wrapped wrong, screws missing from the weather cover. Security footage of Bethany skulking in my driveway with a flashlight. One night, she tried to loosen connections so a dust storm would finish the job. That was it. I filed a police report. Officer Martinez said, "Keep your cameras up and call if it gets worse." It got worse. She called the state environmental agency, the IRS, tried to claim I was running an illegal business. But the real breaking point came when I woke up to find my charging cable cut clean through, copper wires hanging out like nerve endings. The cameras caught her red-handed at 2:17 a.m., wire cutters in hand, struggling with the thick cable, kicking the pieces in frustration. That's felony vandalism and reckless endangerment. 240 volts can kill you or set the house on fire. Police showed up, so did the news. Bethany's explanation? Testing security as HOA president. Right. I posted the video online with a safety warning. The neighborhood lost it, petitioned to remove her. Emergency meeting called. Even parents who'd never cared about HOA stuff before were furious. Bethany doubled down, showed up at my work, paint can in hand, poured a gallon of white latex over my replacement charger at midnight, ruined it, and got caught on camera, again. This time, she got arrested, trespassing, vandalism, violating a restraining order. Her mugshot hit the news. The memes went viral. The management company dropped her, her real estate license got suspended, her ex-attorney sued for unpaid bills. But you know what? That wasn't rock bottom. The final act came. At the annual HOA meeting, packed house, TV cameras, police on site. Bethany stormed in, ranted about conspiracy, tried to interrupt my presentation with her own evidence, which was basically her Facebook rants printed out. She saw my new Tesla charger gleaming in the lot and snapped, drove her Lexus over, tried to jam the connector into her hybrid, forcing it so hard the safety systems failed. That's when karma lit the fuse. Sparks, smoke, then flames. Her Lexus lit up like a bonfire, all caught on video. Paint fumes made the fire worse, spread through the car like a bad rumor. The whole block watched in stunned silence as the fire department hosed down what was left. Bethany was done, hauled off for smoke inhalation and a psych eval, barred from the neighborhood. Hit with fines, lawsuits, lost her house at a loss, real estate career over. And the HOA? Harold took over, we passed renewable energy reforms, dues dropped, neighbors started installing their own chargers, solar panels. We even set up a green tech scholarship for local kids, using the recovered funds. Now my consulting business is booming. The neighborhood's on the map for all the right reasons, and my kids get to tell their friends their dad outsmarted the craziest HOA lady in Arizona. Here's the kicker. Folks from other states started calling, asking how to fight their own HOA. Karens. So I tell them, document everything, know your rights, and never let a petty tyrant bully you off your own property. And remember, sometimes karma needs a little help from a well-placed security camera. Tell me, what's your wildest HOA horror story? Drop a comment below and let's hear it, because you know as well as I do, every neighborhood's got at least one.